Here's CNN Harry Enton talking about where Trump's at right now. More beloved amongst Republicans than any. Watch this one here. Very weird. Watch this. Go ahead.
I mean, every politician would like this number here, especially to see it go up. How about compared to other presidents who were Republicans?
Yeah, it's history making. It's history making. What are we talking about here? So why don't we look back? We have all the presidents, Republican presidents, going back over the last 35, 36, 37 years. What are we talking about? GOP, who strongly approved 5 months in. Look at this. George H.W. Bush, Bush 41, 46%. Bush 43, 59. You see Trump, the first term, 53. But look at this. Damn. 63%. He beats all the other Republicans on the board here. And I was looking even back since Reagan. And get this, Donald Trump beats Ronald Reagan when it comes to the strongly approved 5 months. And, of course, Reagan was coming off that high after that assassination attempt. So the bottom line is Donald Trump is making history with the Republican base. He is more beloved by this Republican base than any Republican base loved any GOP president 5 months in. It is history making.
So I'm going to go to this next story, which kind of coincides with this. Elon Musk's, Trump's Libertarian seek partnership with Elon Musk, okay? Seek partnership with Elon Musk. So what does this mean? Let's go to this. Because you saw the falling out between the two, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon. Libertarian National Committee Chair Stephen Achelia urged billionaire Elon Musk to join the Libertarian Party rather than start a new third party, stating making a third party would be a mistake, and the Libertarian Party is the most set up party to be the dissident subservice party. He noted the party's budget is $1 million to $3 million annually. Wow, that's not even a budget. While Musk spent over $250 million in 2024 in his pact to support President Trump, he added, once the capital is there, the doors get blown wide open. He emphasized the Libertarian Party's established ballot access in nearly every state, stating that there's no way independent or new party can actually do this. Rob, can you pull up the poll of Elon Musk talking about should I start a third party? And then by doing so, Musk escalated his feud with President Trump by supporting Republican Kentucky Representative Thomas Massey's 2026 re-election, stating on X, I will when pressed on Monday and me on Tuesday in response to a post about backing Massey's campaign. Musk criticized Trump's big, beautiful bill, posting on X, every member of Congress who campaigned, we read this last week, that is going to campaign against them. I will try to, what's the word he used? That I'm going to primary you out. Massey opposing the bill for insufficient bill spending cuts told the Daily Caller the political calculus that both the president and AIPAC have to consider is if they go after me and lose, they've lost a lot of credibility. Here's the one. Is that the one, Rob, that he talked about?
No, it's a different poll. I'm still looking.
So anyways, there's discussions about polls. So now you heard about the popularity amongst Republicans. What are the chances you think Musk saw that clip? What is the likelihood that you think Musk saw the clip about Trump's popularity being above Trump
highly
in 2016?
likely. 100%.
Okay, so he's watching that. When he sees that, what is he thinking long term? What is he thinking long term? Do you think there's a high likelihood that Musk starts a third party, Tom?
There's a video out there of that.
So,
yes.
Do I think he's going to try?
Video. Do you have it?
I'm going to look for it right now.
Yes, I think he's going to try for two reasons. One is there are a large number of voters that are the Lieberman voters, that are the Joe Manchin voters, who are the edge independents from both parties who are a little fed up with both sides. And then there are those people that are true centrists who believe that we live in a uniparty. And so there is a certain percent of people that believe there is absolutely a uniparty, and then there are people that are frustrated Democrats and frustrated Republicans. All of those coming together under one banner, call it the lavender, or whatever you want to call it, and I don't mean lavender like LGBTQ, talking about true purple, right, in terms of red versus blue, mixing.
Florida used to be.
So do I think that Elon Musk is going to try to galvanize that support? He has shown that he can be impulsive and he uses his money as leverage. So I think, yes, I think he's going to try. Now, how big of a swing of the ball will this be? I don't know, but I believe he's going to try because I believe he's bitter. I believe that we see a lot of things coming out right now. And I believe that this big, beautiful bill we have not yet seen, and we're going to see in earnings reports, and I'm not going to go back to my analysis from last time, that there's a lot of different angles that are going to impact Tesla, and I think he's pissed off.
You know, when Biden invited all the EV companies and he left one out. Do you remember that one meeting? And he was so furious.
And would you like to believe that
Yes.
kind of lit the fuse
Well, let me just tell
for
you
a
where I'm going with
billionaire
that.
dancing on stage
Right.
in Butler, Pennsylvania?
So that's one, right? Do you remember when Newsom did what he did to the county where, Tesla's headquarters were? And he's like, wait a minute, you want to do this? I'm out, right? Do you remember all this?
Correct.
Okay. So there's a pattern here, okay? Remember how I said, you have to watch people politically on where their opinion comes from. Number one is bias. Number two is who offended them. And there's different levels of being offended. There's those that are offended and move on, and there's those that are offended that will never forget. And then there's those that are offended that will never forget and that will do everything in their power to seek their vengeance. Yeah. And those people typically, don't necessarily, they don't have a way to tap into their faith. It's tough. But I'm talking seeking vengeance at all costs with negative vengeance, not positive. There is choose your enemies wisely that brings out the best in you. There's choose your enemies wisely that brings out the worst in you. Musk has been offended on the biggest stage in the world. There's not a stage bigger than that. There just isn't. He got offended at the highest level. Is he able to reason and be fair? I don't think so. I think those two are out the window. Would he be willing to spend billions of dollars to start a third party? I think so. Do I think he will be successful? For sure. Here's a poll that he ran, Rob. Glad you found it. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? Yes. 80% said yes. He says 80% in the middle and 80% said yes. And that's a good sample amount. That's 5.6 million people that voted for this.
Wow.
Go a little bit lower, Rob. Does it show when this poll was? I just want the date, if you could find it.
I'll find the date.
Okay. I just wonder when this date was. So
June 30th.
June 30th. So that's a few days ago. It's not a long time ago. I think if there's any guy that could start a third party and get a lot of support behind it and completely disrupt the Republican Party and all of it, is this guy. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob. What's this about?
This is the clip Vinny sent.
Yeah,
Okay, go
this
for it.
might be one. And then, Pat, also, just to follow up on this one, do you remember when they asked him who would be in the White House in 2032? That's a quick clip after this one I want to show
Go
you.
for it, Rob.
You'll remember it.
I build rockets and cars and stuff. So what am I doing in politics? It's not. I don't want to be in politics. I want to be clear. That is not my preference. I just like building stuff. I like building products that people love, and I derive joy from seeing people enjoy the products that my companies make. I actually don't like politics at all. I hate politics. But the stakes are so high
But here it comes.
that I have had no choice but to take a stand. So it's not something I want to do. And
What is he saying here, though? I haven't heard
He's
it.
get
basically
taxed on
saying,
what
like,
you
I
own.
don't want.
You get taxed.
He's
No,
like
but
basically
it doesn't say third party, though.
no, but basically what he's saying is he doesn't like politics at all.
Yeah,
but
but
when this much that's. But you see the AI one, Pat, that he
What's
said.
the AI one?
He's basically saying they said who do you think's gonna be the president in 2023? He's like, how do you know it's not gonna be an AI version
Oh,
of
yeah,
this or
I see
that?
that. Yeah.
That one's that's even a scary one. But him saying he doesn't have to get involved, but when it's his money involved, then he gets.
Rob, what's this clip?
This is the AI question.
Play the clip.
Who's going to win the White House in 2024?
Who do you think will win the White House in 2032? Which type of AI? Transformers or diffusion?
He's already going there. You know what I mean? The hell with 2024, 2032. That's where he's going.
He's the one guy that could start a third party and piss a lot of people off and disrupt like ways we've never seen before. By the way, keep this in mind. Everything in negotiations about leverage, right? Mm-hmm. Long term, where does he have negotiation? Where does he have leverage? Starlink, you need it.
Yep.
Iran, Starlink. Ukraine, Starlink. Hey, we need Starlink. Starlink. Hey, can you send Starlink? Mm-hmm. Begging him to send Starlink, right? Okay. All right. What's going to happen with robots? Guess who's going to want a lot of robots?
Everybody. Military.
Yes.
Everybody.
So the only leverage the government has is if they keep giving the money to them and they stop that. If they stop funding him, if he's shown this type of behavior after gathering billions of dollars from the U.S. government, I would not be surprised if President Trump suddenly comes out and say the funding for Musk is stopped. Then, do you think Musk can get funding from anywhere if he really wanted to? He can get money from anywhere if he wants to.
Opposition, 100%.
Anywhere if he wants to. So the sequencing of making some of these decisions, you have to be you have to be really thinking about what's going to happen next with this. But I think if there's anybody that can do a third party, it's him. Adam, your thoughts on this?
I don't think Elon is going to do this third party thing. I think if you just take him literally, he don't want to be in politics. I think he kind of dipped his toe into the water. How long did he last at Doge? 6 months? And all of a sudden he's back to basically colonizing Mars. Anytime that somebody tries to start a third party, it's always easier said than done. I agree that this two-party binary system is killing us, no doubt. But anytime that a third party is mentioned, I always say one thing: who's your candidate? Because if you look at case examples, shout out to the BizDoc, the most successful libertarian candidate of all time was Gary Johnson in 2016. He had 4.5 million votes, 3% of the popular vote, 0 electoral votes. And then we had the powerhouse in 2020 known as Jo Jorgensen. What a candidate. And she got 1.8 million votes, 0 electoral college votes, Loserville. The last candidate that I remember who actually kind of tipped an election was 2000, Ralph Nader, Green Party. He had, 1 million votes. The last successful candidate that was in a third party, didn't win, 0 electoral votes, was of course Ross Perot in '92, right? He helped get Clinton elected. RFK, we thought he was going to do great. He's a Republican now, essentially. So all these candidates that come out there and get paraded out there, they end up getting 0 electoral votes. They end up making a mess. And a lot of times they end up tipping the election to the team that you necessarily don't want to win. And the last part is this: there's no infrastructure. If you look at the quote where he says, there's no way an independent new party will actually do this due to time, resources required, just like with RFK. So in my opinion, unless the Libertarian Party, the Independent Party, whoever actually has a viable candidate, it's all just hot air.
This is not the regular guy. By the way, here's a
But he can't run.
No, I get
he
that.
can fund somebody.
But that's even more
But
powerful.
who's the candidate?
No, that's even more powerful. He's going to find his candidates. Here's the part you have to be thinking about. So I'm okay. I'm just trying to fix this thing. Is the following. You say he doesn't want to be in politics. Bro.
He said that.
No, I get that. He is in politics. He's been in politics. The moment you become a billionaire, and not even a billionaire, the moment you're public and you're worth in the billions, let alone tens of billions, let alone hundreds of billions, you are in politics. You don't have a choice. You are in politics. You are a politician. You are dealing with all the lawmakers. You are dealing with all the lobbyists. You are dealing with all these other prime ministers and presidents. Elon Musk is in politics. He doesn't have a choice. He can never, ever leave politics, ever, whether you like it or not. This is kind of how it goes. You ever see those videos where, these celebrities say, I miss the days when I wanted to just go to Walmart and be able to buy something, all this other stuff, right? Okay, great. And you lose that Walmart freedom of going to Walmart or Target or whatever it is. This guy, he built something that's revolutionary, and now you don't want to deal with politics. You don't have a choice. Every one of his biggest feuds, if you think about the last few years, have been with politicians. Go ahead. Yeah. Don't do politics. You don't have a choice. If I'm an advisor and I'm sitting there in a room with him, I'm a friend or a family or somebody that he's coming for counsel, it's like, I'm so sick and tired of dealing with these bullshit politicians that 1 minute they promise this, 1 minute they say this, 1 minute they say that. I'm done with politics. I'm going to say, no, Elon, you can't. You don't have a choice. Your approach has to change, but you don't have a choice of getting out of it. So for him, he doesn't like to be controlled. He's the worst employee in the world because he doesn't need to be one. He believes in himself so much that he doesn't like control. And the more he moves up, there's control. He can't stand him. Again, my opinion.
Can I push back on you a little bit?
Of course
Pat?
you can push back. Yeah, for sure.
So here's where you're definitely right, and then here's where maybe there could be an adjustment. So he's 100% in politics. So, I mean, if you remember when Trump ran in 2016, he's like, yeah, I know all the donors. I've given it to all these people. I know what's going on here. Hillary Clinton won't remove this tax deduction because all her rich, famous friends use it. Same thing I would do, right? So they're all in politics. I totally agree. But there's a difference between being in politics, kind of playing the game, versus trying to basically start a new third party. That's like starting a new startup, right? I mean, you can appreciate that. You want to give seed capital, startup, who's going to be your CEO.
Disruption.
That's a whole nother level of getting involved in politics.
When I went to Brazil and we were there and we were dealing with all these guys, there was a guy that everybody kept bringing up. And it's not a guy you know. everybody kept bringing up. Everybody kept bringing up. Everybody kept bringing up. And he was the guy that had 21% of Brazil's voters. It was 14 to 21%. Who had, give me 1 second. And so this guy had 14 to 21% of voters. And here's what it meant. He's never going to be president. His candidates will never be president. But guess what? The road to presidency only comes with you give him favors. If you piss him off, you ain't getting elected, buddy. He controls it, okay? And there's a name for the guy. I don't know what the guy's name was. This guy was so powerful. Everywhere I went, they would bring up this guy. Everywhere I went, they would bring up this guy on the political party that he had. Everybody. So if Musk gets to a point, I don't think it's that guy. It's a different one. I would see his face. He's a good-looking guy. Every time, if this guy even gets 15%, he doesn't need to be 51%. If he gets 15%, if he gets 18%, if he gets 20%, he is the biggest throne. Every time midterms comes up, every time elections comes up, the most hated man and the most powerful man is the man that only controls 15 to 20%. He doesn't need 51%. So I think that's the one. By the way, go back to the one Liberty Party. That's it. That's the one right there. Ciro Gomez. I think this is the guy. What party is it that he controls?
The Democratic Labor Party.
And what percentage do they have? Yeah, I don't want to say 100%, but that looks like it's the guy.
10 to 15%.
That's the one where everybody has to go through this guy. It is the most annoying thing that they all were talking about. And he knew the power that he had. And guess what? Every time you wanted to go through him, it came with a bunch of favors you had to give to this guy, and it was so annoying. It was so annoying that they had to go through this guy every single flipping time. I'll try to find the name here in a minute and give it so we know
exactly. Who's that person?
Huh?
Who's that person in America, meaning?
No, that could be Elon. That gives Elon full control. If Elon has influence over a party, you don't have to be somebody that.
So then Elon is just a puppet master of whatever candidate shows up.
No.
And then his leverage is, all right, if you don't back me, the other team is going to win. It's still going to be a Republican or a Democrat that wins.
He becomes every candidate's boss. He becomes the ultimate puppet master. And you can't F with him. You cannot.
I don't think we want that, do we?
No, it's not that. You don't have a choice, buddy. You know this whole thing with Muslims, they're growing the Mecca in Plano or whatever they're building.
Texas,
what was it called? And
Epic City.
What was it called in Dallas?
Epic City.
Yeah, go ahead. The Constitution says they can do it. Unless if you say no one in Islam can be in the States building Meccas, these guys are going to keep building. You don't have a choice of a guy wanting to build a third party. Say whatever you want to say. I'm building my third party. Go ahead, do something about it. No, it's not that whether we want it or not. Competition works that way. And you just offended the wealthiest man in America on the highest level of public stage, and everybody saw it. Everybody saw it. You think he's going to forget? Have you read his book? Have you read his book to see what this guy's wiring is on? I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. Once a year, we host an event called the Vol Conference. If you're somebody that either runs a business, you're a married couple, husband and wife, life's been kind of flatlining lately. There's not been too much things that are growing in ways, business, personal, financial, and you kind of want to call a time out and get away and spend 4 days with 3,000 other couples and nearly 12,000 people in the same room together to strategize the future of your life with your kids, being intentional about it. I highly, highly recommend you attend the Vol Conference. It's the only conference you can go to where the attendees are comfortable talking about business, are comfortable talking about money, are comfortable talking about politics, are comfortable talking about family values, and no one cares. No one walks on eggshells. You go to some business conferences, we can't talk about politics. We talk about everything. If that's appealing to you, do whatever you can to go to the Vol Conference. Here's a video I did with my patient. Here's a doctor sitting down as a therapist, sitting down with his patient, and guess who his patient is? Rob, go ahead and play the clip.
Matthew, who's my next patient?
Oh, this one's gonna be tough. Oh, I gotta take the jacket off for this one.
Okay, so what's been happening lately?
Oh, nothing positive. I'll tell you that, Doc. Just, work is crazy. My marriage is hanging on by a thread. I know we talked about that last time I was here. The kids are freaking screaming and yelling all the time. The business is bleeding cash. I can't breathe. So what do I do?
Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you and your wife sat down and actually mapped out your next 5, 10, 15 moves, personal life and your business life?
Never. The only thing we've ever mapped out was our Disneyland trip. Just like which rides to go on.
That's one day, though. But I'm talking like 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. You guys have never done that?
Never.
Do you guys read books together? Do you spend a lot of time reading lately or no?
Well, I don't know about her, but the last thing I read was the back of a shampoo bottle while I was in the
it's not
bathroom.
enough.
I know, but you should see the stuff that's in there. It's crazy.
It's actually really interesting stuff, but I'm talking like life and business.
No.
Nothing?
Nope.
Okay.
We don't have time.
Does this sound familiar to you? Do you listen to anything he said and say, that's a little bit of me? When is the last time you and your wife took a time out, went away to a business conference to identify your next 5, 10, 15 moves? If you've never done that, we host a conference once a year called the Vault Conference from September 8th to the 11th. If you just watched this, you laughed a little bit, you giggled, but you said, that's kind of me. Get registered. I look forward to seeing you and your spouse September 8th through the 11th at the Gaylord Orlando.
All right.
Well
There you
done,
go.
team.
Yes. Guys, go to thevaultconference.com. Go to thevaultconference.com. Get registered. Get yourself a ticket. If there's one thing I can tell you, since 21 years old, I've gone to 4 to 10 business conferences every year purely to recreate myself. Again, go to thevaultconference.com. Get yourself and your spouse a ticket. Let's spend 4 days to get in Orlando, September 8th through the 11th. Cannot wait to see you there.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.